What's up? What's up?
Hey, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. It's the day the Lord have gave to you.
Mm,
um,
this will be the day the Lord gave to me if one of my renters move out. Move out. How about that?
Whole thing.
I'm like, won't he
Catching
do?
hell, ain't you? You catching hell.
What? What?
Mm.
And if I was a slumlord, I wouldn't have this problem.
You,
You
you
know
wouldn't
that,
care.
right?
You really wouldn't care.
Yeah, but slumlords have the best tenants because
How
they
you say?
don't care.
Oh
They
yeah,
don't
yeah,
care
yeah,
about
yeah.
the quality
Yeah,
of
that's true.
person you
You care
are.
about quality. You're right. You're right.
Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Today's not about my beef with with tenants.
Mm.
Today's not
Exactly.
about that at all.
It's about other beef.
It's not beef. It's
Mm.
what for dinner. It's what's for dinner.
Kobe. Why?
Oh my
Top
god.
Angus beef. It's the top beef. Mm, mm. So good, delicious, delicioso.
So stupid.
Anyway, you gonna go ahead because I don't know about this. I purposely stayed away from the internet, stayed away from YouTube streets as far as that. I don't know anything. Um, and I said I'm gonna do that purposely so you can go ahead on and tell the people, and I'm gonna find out, firsthand and give my reaction on it.
Okay. All right. So you have the videos.
No, I don't know. I don't have
Okay,
no.
good, because it's long
Yeah,
videos.
no,
All
I
right.
don't have no
All
videos.
right. So
I
I'll
don't
give
want to
you a
watch.
breakdown.
Yeah.
So basically, all right. So I brought this idea to Willie because I was watching these videos and I'm like, yo, this shit is popping off. And okay, so let me be responsible for it before I get with the shits. Because
Hmm.
I'm going to get with the shits.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Let's do it.
So responsibly speaking, the reason why I like this video is I've been saying to Willie since we started this podcast, and we've had contentious moments when it came to men and black women shit, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I've been saying from the jump, I don't feel like black men hold black men accountable
Hmm.
for their shit.
Hmm.
I've said it about Willie and his stuff, and I've said it in general. When I see stuff, I see it, and it just be like, "Oh, she must have done something." Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, and that's my perspective. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I've never seen it myself.
Hmm.
So when this situation, there's a YouTube video came out where Abba and Preach. We watched them. I like their content. I don't always agree with them, but I
Hmm.
still like them. I think they have good content. I think they're very thoughtful, and their experiences are. They're not just saying loose shit for loose shit. I feel
I think they're more well-rounded.
so.
I think they have a well-rounded approach to stuff.
Mhm, I'd say so. I mean, I also think they come from different walks of
Hmm.
life. I think Abba has a more world view because he was young and he was in the military. He
Hmm.
got out of the military relatively young.
Hmm.
So he saw the world from a military side and he's still in his youthfulness. And like it just gave him a more honed perspective on life.
Hmm.
So he did this podcast with these two guys. I've never heard of them before in my life called Fresh and Fit, but I'm not in the Manosphere. So that's
So
important to note as
Fresh
well.
and Fit, I'm gonna tell you this. Fresh and Fit is more of an entertainment type deal where they bring Instagram models and these hotties, and they tend to talk about different relationship type stuff, and it's basically surface. A lot of their stuff is surface level, so they won't be for everybody. And he's more one of the guys, Myron, is
The,
more of a hothead.
is that
So
the dark skinned one or the one who looked like
not the
Abba?
dark, not the
Because
yeah, the one who
goddamn,
look
if
like
they don't look like Abba and
yeah,
Preach.
the one that look like Apple, but he's the slimmer one, the one, the one that's hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just the one. There's the one who look like Abba and the one who look
Yeah.
like Preach.
Okay.
That's all it's
No, it
saying.
ain't. The one that look like
Boom.
Abba. There you go. The Abba dude. So
Um. So I've learned something about them too. In addition to that, they
mhm,
also do videos on their other page about financial literacy,
mhm,
emotional support for men, that
mhm,
emotional issues and that kind of stuff. So they do some responsible stuff, from what I understand.
mhm.
Right? How to get out of debt, that kind of thing. They do talk about some responsible stuff, but their night show is with the shits,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
talks to
The after
IG
hour show
models.
is just a mess. If is a hot mess. The after hour show.
Yes.
They're
Uh,
drinking. Put it that way. They're drinking, and some people come on their high as shit. So that's what that's.
gotcha.
Go ahead.
Well, that makes sense.
Mhm.
That makes sense. If they're drinking and stuff like that, that makes sense. The loose shit they say.
Yeah.
Okay. So Abba and Preach came on their show, and they were talking. It was the night show, and they
Mhm.
were talking about relationships, and, and somehow the Preach looking one said that, oh no, Abba said, look, a lot of men who have money don't have time for a relationship. They'll just pay for some, boom boom and go.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the Preach looking one was like, I ain't about to pay for no boom boom.
Mhm.
I want to own a girl's soul. And
Mhm.
Abba started laughing, and Preach started laughing because that's corny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because they know what they do. They've been on this show before, so they know how they just say crazy shit and just be whatever. They
okay,
whatever. They don't even take them seriously. So go ahead.
well, they did. They
Mhm.
was laughing at, but they discussed it. It was like, so you're telling me that a rich person, you think it's because it pretty much came down to they thought it was lame to pay for pussy. That
Mhm.
they said
Yeah.
other things, there were other conversations that was had. I didn't see that part. The reason why I know about the video is because Abba did a reaction to this video of
Mhm.
him and Preach talking to Fresh and Fit.
Mhm.
Um, And so they were talking about this idea that it's lame to pay for pussy, this idea, this, and the third. And
Mhm.
then Abba said, the other part of this is, like he said, I find to be dis
Disingenuous.
disingenuous. I'm skipping a part. No, he just talked about the conversation. He said, look, it's not, he said, I think it's crazy to sit here and think that women, you can get women's souls. Like every relation, he told the guy, the same Abba, the Preach looking one, said
Mhm.
the guy, every girl that he's ever been with has nice things to say about him. Every ex he's
Mhm.
had nice, and Abba's like, that's a lie.
Mhm.
He's like, just on statistics alone, there's no way that can happen.
Mhm.
Which made me reflect on all my relationships. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because
There's the one
best
that
believe
that swears you tried to kill him.
I wasn't with that person. I wasn't with
Oh,
him.
you won't.
We
Okay.
never
Okay.
dated. That
Okay.
was a friend of my ex-husband's.
Okay.
So if he said that, just think what ex-husband say.
Okay.
So it's natural. Everybody's not gonna sing your praises, and it doesn't mean you're a horrible person. You're just
Mhm.
not right for them. It is
Mhm.
what it is. So instead of him realizing that there's no absolutes, the Preach looking one kept saying absolute, absolute, absolute stuff,
Yeah.
right? And
Mhm.
Abba's like, this is crazy. Like
Mhm.
just on that. So they talked about that. They
Mhm.
didn't talk about nothing personal. They just talked about the concept of uh these ideas of having, you know, owning women's souls and all this extra shit, all this la la shit, when the reality is if you want to be with a woman and you're looking for something for that woman, um, and you're showing up with money, that's what they're gonna want from you. Those kind of things.
Mhm.
Anyway,
When you leave with
that
money,
was
that's
what.
what's going. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
So that was the reaction video. It
Mhm.
was impersonal. It just talked about the video. Well,
Mhm.
Fresh and Fit did a response video, and
Mhm.
their response video was like they had time. They talked about everything that wasn't. They didn't refer to anything that had anything to do with what Ivan and Preach was talking about, which was the
Mhm.
content of what they discussed.
Yeah, it was the
They
whole
said,
content of their discussion in that moment.
yes.
Okay.
What they said was, you're trash, you're garbage people. Abba and Preach never have their hair done. They look like clowns, which was ironic because the Abba looking one got this bald spot behind hairline shit going on. I'm like, maybe you don't want to talk about that?
Mhm.
Like, maybe you don't want to talk about people
Mhm.
hair?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, your sound system's tacky. Y'all not fresh. Y'all not any of that stuff. All this stuff. And preach. Your wife probably ugly as fuck, a beluga whale. Yeah, 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 yeah. And he started talking about his wife. I said, oh shit, why is he doing that? This is extra. Why is he talking
Mm-hmm.
about his wife?
Mm-hmm.
And then she started talking about the country of Haiti. And Haiti just went through the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the earthquake and the
Earthquake.
assassination. They've been through a lot.
Yeah,
All right,
since the
can they
beginning
get
of
some
Haiti.
respect? Can they
Yeah,
get some respect? They're the first country that broke through slavery. Can we
yeah.
get some
No,
respect for Haiti?
hey,
But
they're gangster. I can't say nothing bad about Haiti based on their history, right? They killed their enslavers and said, no, this is our country. We don't want you
we
here.
taking it back.
But they had to pay
And then
heavily,
they
right?
proceeded to get taxed.
Yeah, they taxed the shit out of them. First France and then America. They've been beat down to where they have no infrastructure. So
Yes.
yeah,
But
put
my
respect on
point is,
Haiti name. Go ahead.
yeah, respect on Haiti.
Mm,
Like to me, I don't. It don't bother me what people say about me or my
mm,
family or anything like that because they don't know me.
mm,
However, it was crazy that they attacked them at this level,
mm,
and then they just threw whole country stuff. And it's like people, I understand. We're going through a pandemic. There's a lot going on. People have been inside and all kind of other stuff. People like this is a tense time.
mm,
And these people, like, this is a visual representation of how people online, people in person, everybody who's overly sensitive about being corrected
mm,
and their response to it. So,
mm.
uh, I've been preaching another video. The video they did after that was pretty much I was saying we never said nothing about you.
Yeah,
You came at us like you were coming at
on
us
a
like we
personal
cursed.
level. Mm,
And then they referenced Abba's main point was you need to listen to Patrice O'Neill.
mm,
Integrity is everything.
mm,
He said while y'all sitting here listening to this man talking about he don't do this and he don't do that, this man is sitting here offering women access to the internet for sex. Like he'll fuck you. I'll fuck if you fuck me. I'll let you come on my show,
come on the
which is
show.
the
On the show.
same thing as paying for sex.
Correct. It's
It's
it's it's basically with soft dollars. You have one you pay for hardcore cold hard cash and other soft dollars, which is you access to stuff with your time. It's the same thing. Yeah.
Well,
Good.
to me, it's not even soft dollars. To me, it's hard because dollars are a representation of your time. Dollars are the representation of commodity.
Mm,
Dollars are the actual soft dollars. What you buy with it is the hard stuff. So him giving her a platform for pussy is the hard stuff to me, worse than the money.
mm,
So that's what he's talking about. He shows receipts in the whole nine.
mm,
He said, you need to have integrity. And the people watching, you need to, like, y'all need to hold us accountable. If we're trying, it's not about me being popular, me being in this. Um, I'm sorry, I can't read comments, so
No,
you
don't worry
have to
about it.
say
Go
it.
ahead. I'm listening. I just put it there
Uh,
for.
so it's not about you being it's not about us just being right all the time. We're going to be wrong, and we have to hold each other accountable. And I was
Mm,
like, oh shit,
mm,
this is what I've been saying. This is
mm,
all. Abba never said nothing. Actually, let me tell you what Preach said. Preach said, oh, sorry, scratch that. Let me add one more layer. Fresh and Fit, during that first initial response video,
mm,
challenged Preach old ass to a boxing match where they would both fight his old ass,
mm,
in addition to everything else they said.
mm. Yeah, no,
Now,
I heard that piece because I heard somebody put that in a post or something. So I heard about that whole boxing match thing. But
so the video Abba's saying all this stuff, pop, 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 pop,
mm,
receipts, common sense stuff. Preach is just sitting there.
mm.
And then when he said, you got something you want to say, Preach? He said, I'm coming to Miami.
He talked about my wife. He's supposed to say that. You're supposed to say that. I mean, there's no other course of action, but hey, we gotta see each other.
Talk about wife. Exactly
Yeah,
what he said. You talk
yeah,
about my wife, you talk
mhm,
about my country. We got
yeah,
to see each other.
yeah. Yeah. No, and I mean, and this is what I said a riff right in the manosphere. This is and I'm gonna go back to speak on the part about what you were saying about men don't hold other men accountable. I'm gonna go back and talk about that. But first, the whole thing about we men, we're supposed to hold a certain code. Women are great at holding women code. They're awesome. You know, they don't even call the other women out majority of the time when it comes to certain things. They'll, you know, big up women when they know they damn lying, and they be like, oh, you see that girl? But you know,
They'll lie to
whatever.
them about an outfit they wear. Like, girl,
Yes,
you look cute. That bitch
yes.
look
Ah,
crazy.
shit. Yeah. But men like this whole thing, and to argue about something that has throughout history, right, always been the downfall of men, right? To argue about coochie is always been a downfall of men, right? Wars has been fought for it. You know, people have been killed, went to jail, and all this other stuff, which is crazy. It's ironic in itself. Um,
But were they arguing about coochie or they were arguing about clout?
That's it. No, it started off at that. That was the subject, and then it went to it went to them beating on his chest. You remember last week? The saying last week, and I can't say it for verbatim. How men's weakness is the damn it, what is, I can't remember. Men's weakness, how is the perception of being masculine, overly masculine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
women's okay,
yeah. And what's
got it.
women's weakness, right? So this is one of the moments when you told me about that. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is one of those moments where, like, Fresh and Fit, right? They have this overly masculine bravado, right? Ab and Preach don't, but
No,
they are who they are, right? And they're secure in who they are, and because of that, Fresh and Fit. And I've been only looking online at just the numbers, right? They went down like 40,000, 50,000 viewers just based on this bullshit alone because they have this overly masculine
that's not
bravado,
all
and
that
people
happened
call
though.
them out on it. Go ahead.
That's not all that happened. They didn't start losing. They started losing people initially, like like a
No, it's
thousand or
about
two thousand
yeah, it's about
because of
15. I
this.
think the first
It
one's
grew.
yeah, yeah. No,
It
it
grew when the
it's
second
15.
step of stuff happened. There's
Okay,
more.
okay. Good.
Like
Well,
this is like it like this is not taking ownership on steroids.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's all Preach said.
Mhm.
When I tell you, if his wife didn't give him a good blow job when he got home, she need to do something. Like she was like, cause me, I'm like Hercules. I don't know what it is. Look, I don't want my yes, I don't want my man to fight, but I want to know my man would fight for me.
Yeah, for
I'm
you.
not saying I want it,
Yeah. But
but
at least stand up and stand on your. You can't call yourself a man if you're not willing to stand up for the woman that you love. You can't call yourself a man. I'm sorry.
and vice versa. You can't call yourself a woman if you can't take care of your man.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
No, it's the
Like
same thing.
it's
Yeah, reciprocal. Yeah, reciprocal.
yes. But so I was like, all right, I'm not for fighting. I don't want them to fight.
Mm,
But I get where he coming from. Like I'm not a man. As a woman, I was like, I felt like if I was his wife, I felt like I was taken care of in that moment. Like,
yeah.
and he was like, so um Abba reached out to him and said, hey, Preach says he accepts your challenge for the boxing match.
Hmm.
The Preach looking one says, for 500,000 we'll do it.
Oh, come on now. So that's his way of pussing it out. That's his way of backing out.
So they
Come on.
put it online. Abba put that online and said, hey, this is what he says. This is the person you following. This is the
Hmm.
person who, you know.
Yeah.
So the people, huh?
And men realize what this is, right? And they started distancing themselves from this
Well,
platform.
no, they started sending messages.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
They was like, yo, man, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You said this and you said that, la, 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 la. So
Mm-hmm.
Fresh and Fit sent an email on the next podcast, came on and said, hey, we want to apologize to our fans
Yeah.
and what we said about to our fans and what we said about, you know, that dude's wife. And, nope, sorry, I apologize. They did a second video response. With
Mm-hmm.
a second video response, it was like, she's a beluga whale bitch.
Oh, really? So
And
they doubled down on it. Oh shit.
they doubled. They
Wow.
doubled. So then they did a third video. In the third video, they were apologizing to their fans. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't apologize. Nobody apologized to Preach. Nobody apologized to Abba. They
Mm-hmm.
apologized to their fans for getting involved with this, and this is bad look for the Manosphere. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Which it is.
Which Abba and Preach came on and said, well, Abba said, I don't accept. There was no apology to me. Well, Abba and Preach said there was no apology to me, so there's nothing to be said.
Yeah.
Your integrity is wildly in question. To everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
please look up Patrice O'Neal. He kept referencing Patrice O'Neal and the idea of integrity. Um, and he put the link in the thing, which I checked it out,
Well,
and I was
Patrice
like,
O'Neal was one of the greats, right? And he was so uh underrepresented because the stuff he said, a lot of it was dealing with women and men dynamics that's not really popular today, but it is what it is. And I mean, he died too early. He's a great comedian.
um, I thought he was real. I like the
Yeah,
fact that
he's
he was
very real.
real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's what he referenced. Preach said, "I'm still coming to Miami."
Oh, hey, it is what it is, and enough. Just watching enough about him, he's dead ass serious. I mean, he's dead ass serious. He bullshit. He play and clown, laugh and clown, but he's dead ass serious. He doesn't play.
Yo, when I tell you he didn't crack a smile
No,
until he
no,
made
he's
his
serious.
statements,
Mm-hmm.
and then he said some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Probably said it in French and in what you call him. He probably
no,
start
no.
speaking in Haiti language.
You know what I appreciate about that's the other thing I appreciate about Abba and Preach. They come from a French rooted
Mm-hmm.
background, and when they do their stuff, they talk in English, but then they switch over to French. And it's like, hey, you don't know French, that's your problem. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk and we're gonna, I don't know why, but I appreciate, like I said, you stay true to who you are.
Stay
This is
true to
who they
yourself.
are.
Yeah, correct.
You could lose people by doing that, but this is who they are. So that happened. The next day, the Preach looking one put on his IG live, him going to buy a gun.
Oh shit. Oh shit. What?
Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. The fresh and fit. Oh god. Oh. So. Oh. This. Oh, dude. Man. Points just flying out. You walking, points is falling like you a horse and shit dropping out your head. You leaking points at this point. Damn.
And it was like, Abba came on, did a video about it, response about it, and he said, well, prior to him doing this video response, he said in the other video that he was gonna put his foot on their neck and hold them accountable for everything they do. If they say they're this person, they need to be this person. Point blank period. So when when he did this IG live, Abba came on with this video and said, "Look, this is the man you're following.
Yeah.
He's the one who threatened this person.
Yeah.
He's the one who talked about this person's life. He's the one who offered to fight him. Both of them at the same time. And then
now
he
they want to
goes
act
to
like
get
a
the gun.
victim, right? Now they want to act like a victim. Exactly what we was talking about last night, right? You cannot do anything and then come back and then act like a damn victim. No.
You hide your hand.
You
Can't
hide your
hide
hand.
your
Yeah,
hand.
you throw your stones and hide your hand. That's a bitch move.
Mm-hmm. So they showed the gun part, right? So that happened. Then I thought it was over. Now, keep in mind, all of this has happened in the course of 1 week. We're still not done. Thought it was over. Then come to find out that the women are coming out saying that these people have propositioned them for sex. They had sex with them to get this stuff, and it's an epidemic. These dudes are scumbags.
No. And you know what? I believe maybe that was happening because of they keep IG models around there. If you anybody ever go watch them, it's a bunch of IG models and they be flocking to it. I mean, 10 girls sometime at the studio at one time. And I'm like, okay, because these girls want this, they want this exposure so they get paid on IG. So of course they got that leverage over them. So they was Weinstein them basically. That's what they were doing. And I saw that. I'm like, okay, this might end up being a bad situation because of this. Because anytime you do that, somebody's gonna meet to your ass, and that's what's gonna happen next after this.
And this ain't a me too your ass. They me tooing themselves because they're already saying it online. They're like, I'm fucking. Like these girls I'm not putting them on for nothing. I'm fucking. So this girl came out with this. Abba did another video. Girl came out saying that this is what he shared, showed the video, showed everything. The Preach looking one agreed that this happened. And he was like, so and then they doxed her. They put her personal information out. They put her IG stuff. And so then the girl got harassed every which way, got called. People was sliding in her DMs, calling her a slut hole bad bitch, all kind of shit. Talking about if they find her in the streets, they're gonna handle her. It was a lot. It was a lot of that stuff. One of the people who slid in her DMs and did one of that to her was
Mm-hmm.
brought onto a video with this other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because now my YouTube is full of Manosphere people. I'm like, the fuck? I'm not a man. Stop it. Um, but it was a lot of people. So the guy got on with him, and Abba got on the live with him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me say this: Abba did a damn good job at setting the tone,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy tried to do a good job at keeping his cool, right? Because he respected Abba. You could tell he did. He was like, Mr. Abba, Mr. Abba, Mr. Abba. But at the same time, his position was fresh and fit gave him his life back. They got him out of poverty. Like his credit score is up. He's fly. He's doing shit for himself because of how they helped him in the other shows. Yeah. And so what he was saying is, y'all can't bash these people. These people did good things. Abba came on. Abba said, look, we're not going to agree. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to agree, but we ain't got to have beef. Yeah. We ain't got to do this. We can discuss and have our disagreements respectfully, which I respected. And Abba's point pretty much was this. Just because he said this, which is something that I think people ignore. Just because your hero does great things, it doesn't mean he doesn't do bad things as well.
He's human. He's human. You know, we have to, as far as black people, we have to stop this, right? We have to stop holding people on damn platforms so high to where when somebody says something, now you're pissed off at the person that says something, even though they're telling the truth. You know, so let's say, is it the truth? Is it truth? Or are you lying? Let's just strictly stick to that. Okay, well, no, he didn't do that, and give your reasons why. Don't get mad because your idol has been torn down. Maybe your idol needs to be torn down. You know,
a little bit to build back up.
Yeah, and that's true too. You know, they might have to pull a rug from out there under their ass so they can see, you know what, I was wrong. Because majority of people, regular people, just any day, everyday regular people, if you're being told you right all the time, right, you're not gonna believe it when somebody tells you wrong. You're not gonna believe it. You're gonna combat that tooth and nail, and then you have to hit the wall and be like, oh fuck. You know, it has to have a consequence for you to look back at your life or look back at whatever you did and say, damn, I was wrong. How can I make this better?
And so here's the thing. The important part of what you said, all of this, like everything you said is true, but the important part of what you said makes me think this. This all could have been avoided had they taken accountability for what they said in their actions and said, you know what, I did say that. I did not mean to say that. I meant to say this, or I did say that, and you know what, I think I'm wrong. You're right. I don't need to be doing this. Da 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 da. Everything could have been squashed. Everybody, they could have grown as people. And like I say this to the audience. Some of us die on an idea, on our ego. We die on that mountain because we're not really to take
on a faulty mountain.
Yes, because we're not really to take ownership and accountability for what we've done wrong. And if you had taken ownership and accountability, things wouldn't have spiraled out of control. This whole situation they wouldn't have lost so many viewers had this happened, and they would have been like, you know what, we did say that. There are people who do it. I try not to do it, but sometimes I've done it. And you know, all they had to do was do that. And as a man, as a human, I don't even think it's a man thing. It's just integrity.
No. And also it's an ego thing. So, and it's not a man thing, but the thing is, as men, we have more ego, and we tend to do it more, I think. Y'all women are catching up. Just let y'all know.
I was about to say, women dying on that mountain too now. Let's not act
saying y'all are catching up. Y'all caught up. Let's just say y'all caught up with it. But I'm just saying,
I'm constantly telling my ego to shut the fuck up. Constantly.
Yeah. So I think ego is like the kryptonite to who we are. You know, ego. You know, it gets us killed sometimes. Physically, emotionally, you know, everything. Mentally, ego gets us killed, and we have to be willing to look at reality, the real part of it. What did we do? Turn the mirror around to yourself and look at yourself. What do you do first before you even comment on whatever that person's telling you?
And let me say this, and to speak to that statement, you should only turn the mirror on you.
True.
Because that's the only thing you could change.
Yeah, true.
Is you can acknowledge what other people do all day long, but you should start and stop with you, because it's the only thing you can change.
Yeah, you can't do nothing about what they did. Yeah, you can say this would happen, and it caused me to do this. So why did it cause me to do this? That still turn the mirror around to you. Yes, you're addressing they did something, but why did I do this in this moment? What made me take the actions I took towards this person, and it's still looking in the mirror, that's total accountability versus deflecting, and making it somebody else's fault and problem.
Yeah. And so all of these things, the things that I've heard you talk about with the manosphere, actually talk about with the manosphere, I
Mhm.
actually saw
You saw it
there.
happening. Okay. Okay.
Yes, I saw it happening with Abba and Preach. I saw it, and at no point did they talk about his receding hairline that's happening behind some other hairline. At no point did they talk about the corny dude who wants to own people's soul and stuff.
Mhm.
They didn't go into that great detail. They didn't rib nobody. They didn't talk about all the stuff they have to do. They just referred to who they say they are, and and what how they're behaving. That's all they kept referring to, and I respected it. I respected the full conversation because at no point were they like, "Hey, y'all need to leave
Mhm.
these people. You need to unsubscribe." They never said nothing. They said you need to watch your king.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that happened. They brought the guy. Let's go back to the guy.
Okay.
This little fan of theirs who helped them a lot, which it is what it is. So Abba says to him, "Hey, Uh, so you're saying we can't talk about what they've done wrong?" He said, "No, because they've done all these right things." And he said, "So if we, if you find out tomorrow that they're molesting children, man, that's extreme." He said, "Well, I'm just trying to figure
Yep.
out what your
Yeah.
limits are."
Yeah. What's your limit? You have to figure out what the limit is. True.
So then he goes, "Let me ask you a question. Like we have black politicians. If our black politicians are stealing from us and causing us to suffer, should we not hold them accountable?" And he said yes.
Okay.
But every time he went back to this, every time he went back to Fresh and Fit, it was shut down, shut down.
It's because it's idolization of our own figures. Basically, we idolizing somebody because we're fans of them. We
Hmm.
do that in our community, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's just, I mean, we need to get back to the right is right, wrong is wrong, having good, strong moral characters, and putting more weight into the character of a person versus what we see and what they have, what they're driving, what kind of money they have. Right. We need to go back to that type of stuff. The heavy moral. Like black people in America used to be very moral people. Right. They used to stand on their morals, and we've gotten away with that, and I think it happens really, you know uh basically during the 80s when we had the crack epidemic, and we have these single mother homes, and then you have the boys bringing in money selling crack to poison their own community. And it's like, okay, my son's bringing in money, so I'm just going to look the other way, and he's taking care of me though. And now women are aspiring because they want to be taken care of by their kids, and oh, we're not going to say nothing about the bad behavior.
Yes.
So I think that's because we used to be very, I mean, the black community, people used to look up to the black community at one point. Now they still hated us, but they respected us, right? There's two different
Yeah, there
things.
was a. Yeah, I agree though. I agree. We were Our foundation and family was way stronger than it is now,
Hmm. Hmm.
and now we're just a cautionary tale of what to expect from Black people,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Very true.
so with this situation with that young man, he agreed to things. He asked him to, and then he said, "Well, can you admit that they're doing good things in these areas?" And this is what I want the world to know. And I'm guilty.
Hmm.
I am so guilty of this because I'm in my feelings sometimes,
Hmm.
and I'm sitting on this position, and I stay in this position so much that I don't even get to open my ears to hear everything that's being said. I'm just looking for things that go against this position so I can argue it.
Hmm.
Um, that he missed the statement that Abba said when he made the first video. These people may be good for doing this, this, and this, and this, but we need to hold them accountable here.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
gave it to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then they talk about, which I didn't know, I was shocked. They said, "Well, also we found out that you slid in that young lady's DMs and you called her everything under the sun." Like he just told her to shut the fuck up. Like
Wow.
he called her some other stuff.
Hmm.
It was very strong statements, but he was like, "I was trying to tell her that she's she doesn't need to be maligning people doing stuff like that. But that's not what you said. You said, I'm watching you. Something like it was something. There's two sentences, and the
Mm.
two sentences were insults and a threat kind of
Yeah, that's
ish.
right. Mm-hmm.
So Abba was like, you owe that girl an apology.
True.
He said, what you did was like what they did was egregious.
Yeah.
His argument for them, he said, how do you feel about them putting that girl's information out, putting her at risk? And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, well, they be wilding.
No, that's not. No, no. Yeah. No. You can't. I mean, you can't just blow over that. You can't gloss over that. Like that's not dangerous to that woman's health, the health, and that her livelihood, or anything. I mean, it's she's in danger because they did that. And if
Yeah.
she got killed by one of y'all idiots, right, they would be brought up on charges, and then now your heroes are what, behind bars because they are culpable for that. They become they become part of them getting hurt, killed, or whatever. So
And
now,
this is ego.
yeah,
Because she
it's
had the
all ego, all
audacity
built
to
on
tell
ego.
you
Mhm.
no. She didn't
Yeah.
want to sleep with you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
As a side note,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying my life is the way to model, right? Because but I'm a female. I feel like this with me saying this as a female should have some kind of impact. I
Mhm.
remember saying to myself when I was like 14, 15, what's
Mhm.
the one thing that would hurt me? Like I used to try to go through things that would break me in different
Yeah.
ways,
Bring you
right?
down. Bring you down. Mhm.
And one of the things was rejection.
Mhm.
Rejection would hurt me. I didn't like to be rejected. I didn't think, well, bitch, you need to get in here and get rejected.
Mhm.
So I used to
Just
like,
get it
and
out the way. Just get it out the way, so it won't bother you anymore. Attack what
yeah,
hurts you the most, and that way it be out the window. Yes, I agree.
yes. So as a female, I would go and shoot my shot
Mhm.
high. I used to aim high. Now, in hindsight, it was flawed. I was
Mhm.
15-year-old talking to 20-year-olds.
Yeah, and that you
No,
could have got somebody put in jail. Damn it!
yes. And I didn't say it was a perfect idea.
But
It
but
was
the
a
but but the premise was on point, on par.
it
I
was a
understand.
sound premise.
Mhm.
The action wasn't. But
Mhm.
I was getting knocked down. It was like,
Mhm.
ow, ooh, ow, ooh, ow. It hurts. It hurts. All this rejection hurts. Am
Mhm.
I unattractive? And is this? Is that? By the end of it, I was still standing.
Mhm.
And it made the win even more sweeter.
Mhm.
But these people walking around with this expectation of wins, it only makes the loss worse.
Yeah, makes loss worse. I told somebody that last week, right? That because of people having a idea, a grandiose idea, the rose-colored glasses on, right? Everything's great until you get a problem. Then it's like a roller coaster. You hit rock bottom real fast, real hard because you don't have an actual view of what reality is. You don't view reality in the right way. So, and I always use the number line, just like everybody knows. Here's me. They use the number line, right? If you give everything the right hand side, which is the very best, and the left hand side on the number sign is very worst. As soon as you at the very best. As soon as you hit that worst case scenario, you going to all the way to left because you're not centered. You're really not centered. If something was to hit you and you're in the center, right? Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm on the left hand side. Ooh, I'm on the left. Okay. Because I see life for how it is. You know, reality hits hard, and people need to understand that.
And yes, and they also need to like, why do we need to prepare for the best situation? It's the best fucking
Yeah.
situation. Why don't we
Yeah.
prepare for the
Yeah.
worst?
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah,
Like
I
we're
mean,
walking around
people
here
always no. What
soft.
people not even to prepare. What they do, they always trying to look towards the best situation, right? Look towards the best situation when if you say this is where I'm at in life, right? My action is gonna be doing one thing, but I always know that there's a negative aspect to everything in life. Everything's a double-edged sword. There's a negative aspect for it. So I know the best, I know the worst. Anything in the middle is great. It's awesome. Anything in the middle is awesome.
Yeah.
You're balanced.
But you feel better for having prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's
I
no
don't think you
different
feel
than
better. I
getting
think
in
I
the
think when something
oh, I
happens,
do.
yeah,
I do. I feel better because when something because it
yeah,
inevitably does
it
happen,
does happen. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you're
Long
fine.
term,
You're not
yeah. Learn,
shook.
learn term, long term. I agree. Yeah.
You're not shook. When you if you prepare now, I mean, don't be like me, right? I obsess about my job is one of that of preparation.
Mhm.
I'm overly obsessed. I was So I was in bed and I was trying to go to sleep.
Mm,
But this is the thought I had. Because you know how you know where my bedroom's located. It's high
mm,
up, right?
mm.
I said, what if a fire happens? And I'm way up on the fourth floor and I can't get out. Man, that's gonna suck burning to death. I need a rope climb with a
Did you get the ladder? Did you get the ladder that you put out the window? Did you buy that?
no, I did better. I got the little carabiner that's attached to the rope, and then I'm gonna hook
Oh,
it to the my
really?
bed because
Really?
my bed weighs a lot of
Really?
pounds, and yes,
A
and
rope.
I
A
slept
rope.
like a baby. No, what? It's a rope climbing.
Okay.
The rope climbing ones can take a lot of
Oh,
weight.
oh, okay, got you. Got it. Okay.
No, I know,
With
no,
the
no,
knots.
you're
No, I thought you meant
yes.
like the little twine what you call them that you have around the clamp. That's what I thought you was talking about.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about real rope climbers,
Okay.
like a rock climber.
Okay, right.
Um,
Gotcha.
and so I was like, as soon as I said that, and I was like, and I ordered it on Amazon. I rolled over, picked up my phone, ordered it on Amazon, slept like a baby.
Yeah, because
Like,
it was done. Yeah, it was done. Yeah. You address your fears.
yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what I didn't do? Act like it didn't happen. Act like there's no way this could happen on Earth.
Yeah. 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 Yeah,
I
and
moved.
that's how people get screwed too. Like this could never happen. This could never happen. Well, what's it called? Murphy's law. It will happen. Just because you say that, it will happen, and you're gonna be screwed.
But what's wrong with being prepared for it, even if it never happens, and you feel comfortable knowing? Like
Yep.
that little rope thing I bought could never be used,
Mm.
ever be used. And you think I feel like I wasted my money?
No.
I prepared for what the thing that could hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. We gotta stop doing this. We gotta stop getting to a point where we're so fucking soft that we can't sit there and see the truth in what people are saying to us. I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt. That shit's gonna hurt. But is it hurting because it's true? Is there a truth in this shit? We gotta stop doing that. I sent you a video. I sent you a video on Facebook on the messenger. I don't know if you could load that one. It's like a minute video. So you can see this dude's response.
You want me to
Like
load it?
yeah, and you can put it up and so you can watch it. Because I'm like, I feel like you're hearing a lot of my take on this, but I
Okay.
want you to see this man. This is what happens, people, when you have leaders that you follow that you don't hold accountable and you believe blindly, you become sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And then
So,
you
hey,
do,
turn to Trump. Talk about Trump. The same thing.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then you have to be, instead of you understanding, instead you have to be so right that you end up just kind of losing yourself. Your ability to just, I mean, I usually
Which
walk
one you
into a
want me to do? Which
situation
one?
and
The
I'm
first
wrong.
or the second one?
It's
The
the
pull
one
up
that
or the
says
shipment pay?
yes, pull up,
Pull up.
pull
Okay.
up, pull up, because that's a minute video. I want you to watch that.
Okay. 1 second. Got to bounce it over to our page.
Okay. And while he's doing that, the video. Don't get me wrong. I was with the shits watching this. I was like, "Ooh, Preach gonna fuck him up. He's so sexy." I mean, he married, so I mean, I ain't looking at him like that. But because his woman got hands too, by the way.
Yeah,
So
she
I
used
don't
to
want
do.
none of that smoke.
They used to box and stuff, huh? Yeah, yeah.
I don't want none of that smoke.
I watched him
Mrs.
enough.
Preach.
Yeah.
Mrs. Preach. This ain't me saying that. Look, I'm just saying the act of what he did was sexy. I ain't coming for your man. I can't fight nobody who can fight.
Mm-hmm. You can't fight nobody. All right, about to share it now. Sharing screen. Share screen right here. Fresh and fit app will pull up. Allow. Open.
While you're waiting to pull it up, the other thing is, I don't know if you saw this or is it on the married group.
And I'm gonna tell you, bro, this is sad. And one,
Go ahead. Repeat. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. On the married group, they were talking. Somebody was talking about, and Dr. Toya responded, which she responded in a way I didn't think she would. But they were talking about how if you put all your money on the side, like the stuff you use for self-care, nails, hair, and this, that, and the third, how much money you can save.
Mm-hmm.
And then how many people was telling them, how about you mind your fucking business about what I do with my money? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the
I'm not in that
hell?
group, but yeah, I took that. She posted somewhere, and I took that post and reposted it because it was a good point.
How about you just say no, thank you. I'm not gonna do it, and just whatever. But because you know what you're doing is so wrong, you can't be told you're wrong, so you just attack people. This
No,
is crazy.
we're quick to attack because we don't want to face our own bullshit. Like we don't want to
Hmm.
feel like we're wrong in anything, so we're quick to attack people.
Okay, so now you can play the video.
One day, I promise you, bro, you're gonna look back on this moment and realize that you sending that DM and then you coming on this podcast afterwards to defend that shit is crazy. You also need to have some accountability for what you did, brother. Nobody made you go do that. You did, and you owe that woman an apology because what you said was fucking foul.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If that
Suck
was
a dick thought, bro.
no,
You have it straight from me. I'm not apologizing. I'm standing on what I said.
If I personally knew you, okay, and you said that to my family, I promise you I'd catch you in these streets. That's crazy. Don't be messaging random women crazy shit like that, bro. You're getting too comfortable. And I'm telling you this.
I live in San Francisco, California, bro. If you want to come and see me, I'm outside, bro.
See, that's the mindset right there that we're talking about, bro. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about
but if you want to come see me, bro, I'm not
obviously,
bro. I'm right here. You feel me?
Hey, man, these are the kind of men that Fresh and Fit are breeding. I'm very sorry to hear that, man. Best of luck to y'all, bro. Peace.
And I agree. Like that's why when you remember I told you I was coming off our platform to get on the Manosphere, because I think there needs to be more representation of guys that's going to be responsible for the image of men, and it's going to give the right message to the Manosphere. That's why I did that, because there are guys like this. Like I was telling you when we broke down the whole Manosphere thing with the red pill rage, the MGTOWs, and the incels. They are guys out here like that, and it's dangerous for women. It's very dangerous for women because y'all don't know what's going on out there. And going back to the point that I told you I was going to respond to, right? The fact you said men don't hold other men accountable. Y'all don't hear that, right? Y'all in the spaces we in, y'all don't hear a lot of the stuff. True enough, I think the reason women say that is because a lot of times when women want us to be that way, women are already vocal on it. Women are, well, I don't, popping off and being loud and whatever. And it's like, okay, whoa, as a man, you have to be mindful what you're getting yourself into. So I think it doesn't look the same like it did back in the 60s when men used to do whatever they did because of what, the era we're in, right? But men do hold men accountable. We have different tiers of men. We call men out. Hey, if you doing some set behavior shit, you're doing some whatever, hey, you sound like whatever, you sound real rapey or whatever. We tell dudes this and we don't associate them. I'm just saying,
It's not
we don't
funny that
associate
we said rapey, but you said, dude, you sound real rapey now.
Yeah, but I mean, we tell men this when we're in the presence, and we distance ourselves from it. We don't associate ourselves because, as you know, black men, we face heavy scrutiny, and we face heavy punishment being doing anything in this country. So we are very mindful of how stuff looks to black men, and we try to keep away from that type of stuff. From what I see,
I will say this, and this is a side note.
Mm-hmm.
This is very much a side note. This is why that men, and I'm not saying the majority, I'm just saying as a general statement, the importance of being there in your children's lives, you men and women, the boys and girls of their lives, because while you're talking about holding people accountable, this young man cannot be held accountable by anybody who he doesn't want to be held accountable for, because he's never been taught respect. I'm making an assumption, a huge assumption here, but I don't think his father's in his life.
But based on his actions, that's why you can make that assumption.
Yeah. I don't think he has a father figure in his life.
Yeah.
I think he tried. I think he was trying to show him respect. But the fact when he didn't even hear him saying, "Hey, you said this to somebody, one of my family members, I'd have to see you."
Yeah.
He never threatened him. He said, "If you did this to my family,
it's not a threat.
I would have to feel this way."
That is actual promise, and it's not even a threat. It's not like I'm looking for you. And like I said, we're in this society where people are so ultra or hypersensitive about every single damn thing that you can't even like have a discussion and tell them something that, oh wow, I'm offended. So what? Fuck your feelings. That's what it is. Fuck your feelings. Who cares? But we're talking about this, and what you did was not proper. It in no way, in no form was it. What is it? A good thing to do. I mean, it was dangerous to this woman. You put somebody's life in danger. You would not like nobody to put your life in danger. So why would you do it to somebody else?
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't tell you the rest of it. This is the end of
Okay.
how things ended. So Abba did a video reaction to that video, right? Minus him telling him to get him in the streets. He left that part out because he didn't want people attacking this young man, right?
Okay.
But everything else he responded to. The young man DM'd him asking him to take that video down because his family heard about it. And
they should have. Fuck your feelings. You didn't care about the girl's feelings. Fuck your feelings.
So what we just found out is you ain't about this life.
No, you're not. Once again, fake bravado.
Yeah.
People about their life. People about their life don't apologize for it. They don't back down either.
Yeah, you did all of that, but when people that you care, see, this is okay. There are all types of people in this world, but when I'm talking in context, I'm talking about these three types of people.
Okay.
There's people who don't give a fuck. People who give all the fucks. And then the person in the middle who acts like they don't give a fuck and give all the fucks, or the person who acts like they do give a fuck and don't give none of the fucks.
None. Yeah. Which is
this
usually
person,
a sociopath. That's usually a sociopath, right?
That's a sociopath.
Yes.
That's a dangerous fucker.
Yeah, that's a dangerous person. Yeah.
The one who don't give no fucks, more of a psychopath. But the person like him, he's sitting here living this life like he don't give a shit, but he really did. And the thing about it is, you're not a quality human being if you have to wait for it to affect your family.
Yeah.
You're just not.
Yeah. Hey, that's the character, right? That's just like, if there was there's a lot of people, right, that if it wasn't a crime to rob banks, if they wouldn't get caught, they would go out and rob a bank, right?
Bang, bang.
You're not a quality human being just because you robbed a bank. It's because that your ass scared of the damn repercussions. That's the actual character of you. You're scared of repercussions. Just like you said, you give somebody money, you'll see their true character.
So Kevin Samuels responded to it too, and he said that. He said if you give somebody money, you'll absolutely see their true character. And what you're seeing in Fresh and Fit is their true character.
Yes.
And another thing is very important. I want people to know: money is fucking awesome. I will Scrooge McDuck dive into some money, no lie. But at the end of the day, if it changes who you are, if you're willing to do anything to get it, you're gonna lose yourself.
Yeah, first of all, yeah, you're gonna fall into a certain be a certain person. That means you weren't that person. Like you're not a true person to begin with. You're not rooted in anything. Like you're just floating in, you're being blown in the wind. And when you have money, I'm this awesome ass person. And then as soon as that shit leaves you, because it will happen, once you go up, you will come down. You're gonna be even worse than you was when you started. So,
and even if you never come down, quality of life and who you are, you like a person who did shit. Like at the end of the day, like how you talk, like how you can tell somebody who ain't worth shit if you say, "Hey, what if this happened to your daughter?" And then they feel some kind of way, or they feel no kind of way.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to say that. I shouldn't have to say and keep in mind.
Hold on. Let me interject. You can't really, because sometimes people don't think about things on a certain level. If they don't feel any kind of way, that says one thing. But if they think about it and they change their mind, it could be somebody, I didn't think about that. It could be that.
You're allowed to change. But what I'm saying is, if after you present, here's the thing. I'm not transgender. Right? I don't know that experience. But I can say you ain't gotta kill nobody because they transgender.
No. Okay. And I agree with you. I agree.
Like there's certain human traits that we all need to have, that we all should have to say, I'm not. That being said, if you sit there and tell me transgender shouldn't be in a bathroom, I'm not gonna think you're a horrible person. That's your opinion.
That's your opinion. Yeah.
All right. That's what it is. People may disagree. People may agree. you know, cancel culture being what it is, whatever, you're entitled to your opinion. But if the person is not allowed to live, if you're saying a transgender person can't have any bathroom, no fucking bathroom, I got a problem.
Yeah,
If
they're
you're
basic human rights.
infringing
They're
on
basic
people,
human rights. Everybody deserves in this country. Everybody deserves the same human rights as everybody else, no matter what your race, creed, denomination, sexual preference, age, no matter
yes.
nothing. Everybody deserves the same thing.
So I will say this to you: if I gotta tell you how this person has a right to have those things you just said, you might want to do evaluation. You're not a quality person.
No, I agree. Yeah. And if you want to even argue that point, like you're not a quality person, you want to argue against the point that they, because of their, no.
And those are the
you?
same
Who are you
people
to decide?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, black people who are sitting here talking about shit like homophobic, unlike people being gay. Who are you to you fucking know what it feels like to be standing there on the sidewalk when a car drive by and stop at a red light, and then a white person sees you and lock the fucking door. Or when you walk in a store and they say, "Hey, this costs a lot. You sure you need, you know where you're
or
at?"
watching you every move you make when you walk in the store.
You know what that shit feels like. And instead of you saying, "I never want to feel that way and I never want other people to feel that way," you say, "I just don't want to be the person get on this side of it. I want somebody else to deal with it."
They're gonna feel this, and it's okay because I felt it before.
Yes, and you're not shit. All right, and there's an alternate side of that. Now, just because I'm giving smoke, I got the smoke for them people on the alternate side who overly sensitive about every fucking thing, and a person can't express their feeling. Who was it? There was an actor who said back when he was young, he used to, like, some white woman said that a black man raped her, and so he was going around trying to find any black man to fuck up.
That was the Taken dude.
Yes, Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, Liam Neeson. I'm sorry.
So my thing about that is, like, cancel him. I'm like, for him confessing something that he was not fucking proud of.
That he grew from. You know, that he learned. He learns from that. He didn't do it.
I pray to God none of y'all stuff, that stupid shit that y'all done, come to light. Because we've all done stupid shit. All of us. Like, and you have to allow for change. And with this situation with Fresh and Fit, could there be a possibility that money may change them? Yes. They might be more humble because they lost it so quickly.
Of course. Just their whole content, right? Talking about, how women are this, women that. Some of the times, it's some of it's kind of amusing, but the low level kind of disrespect that they have sometimes, it speaks to their character. If you get women before you got money, when you got money, it wouldn't be a problem. You wouldn't even, you're like, it's nothing. It wouldn't be whatever. But because you didn't get women, when you got that money, it was like, okay, I'm gonna treat her like shit because she's, she would have chose me if I had this money. And like I said, once again, it speaks to your character. It tells on you. I mean, you can't even, like, you can't hide that shit. And that's what happened with their viewers. They got to see them in their real form.
I will say about their viewers, does it make you a bad person that you watch that person and you supported that person? No. Everybody has a negative thing, but information seeps into a spirit and it soaks in, and sometimes we regurgitate things unbeknownst. Biases start to form. We have to be very careful what we allow ourselves to hear when it comes to that kind of stuff, like the how they disrespect some of the women and put them out. And I actually saw one of the videos where this chick sound dumb and a motherfucker.
Yeah, and she a couple of them needed to be put out. A couple.
It is what it is. Yeah. And it is what it is. But the thing I respect about Alba and Preach, actually, is you don't have to fight ignorance with ignorance. You can fight it with love. You can fight it with concern. You can fight it with words.
Have an educated response,
a mirror, yeah, and not have to just attack this person.
Mirroring what you would like people to be.
Yeah, like you saw how Abba put his head down when that man said that. Like when he was saying that, he said he's not going to apologize to her and this, that, and the third, and then he doubled down talking about we could go on the streets, and he put his head down like, this is what I'm
Because
talking about.
you're lost. You're lost. You can't do anything with anybody that's lost. I mean, you just can't. You all you have can do is stay away from that person.
Yeah.
Let them burn itself out. Just stay away. Because anybody with that kind of mindset will drag you down with them. Eye for eye means both of us becomes blind. That's what that's saying. You know,
Yes.
so I mean, I understand that.
Yeah. So
Speaking to the point you were saying about how people could do good, right? I think we have a bad problem in our community with the fact that we don't understand this, right? We can we can see somebody, we can see another community do something, and we could take the good parts from that, right? We could take the good parts from this and say, okay, we're going to keep this. We could take the good parts from this type of person or this whatever. We can keep that. Let's leave all this negative stuff behind because I mean, yeah, we're both good and bad. Nobody's totally good. Nobody's totally bad. You know, I mean, even killers. You said this before. Even serial killers have good friends that swear they're good people. So you know, we have to understand that. Stop looking at people as being monolithic, right? Stop looking at people that way and be like, okay, this person's good in this aspect. Okay, I can learn this from this person. But all this other stuff, I'm gonna distance myself from that, and I can call that out too. When you speak on it, I can agree with you that yeah, that's some bullshit. That was bullshit. That was bad. That's wrong. Yes. And if I did something, you know why I was wrong for that too. In hindsight, yeah, I shouldn't have did that. And own your shit as being a man, right? That's what the manosphere is built on. Own your shit as being a man. Men, you're held to higher standards. Whether you like it or not, you're being held to higher standards. As black men, you're being held to higher standards. We can't afford to do what anybody else does and get a second chance. A lot of times we don't get second chances, but that's our reality, right? Live in your reality and deal with that shit. Go ahead. What you about to say?
I would add to that because you said that, like it or not, we're held to a higher standard. Why wouldn't you honor the fact that that you're a higher being, that you have this worth that we came from, this strength that we came from, this heritage that we came from? Why would we, like it or not? Why? The only thing I honor, I was sitting there with my dad watching him reminisce on slavery while he was picking muscadines, and we went to a you
Did
picket
y'all
farm.
sing Old Negro Spiritual?
Let me tell you how embarrassing he is. Okay,
Did he bust out?
he's talking to, he saw some black people. He said, "Hey, you remember these days?" I said, "Oh my god." Oh my
You wouldn't
god.
be wearing that shit if you was out in the field. You be wearing that damn gold watch. The master would have whooped your ass.
He said, "Now we paying to pick cotton." I'm like, I can't. I said, I
And
can't.
that's what I told you we got on here.
Yes, and that's yeah, I know. And I'm like, God, dog, he must have called you.
Nah, he didn't. I didn't talk to him.
So side note, and I'm gonna make my point. Side note, so it started to rain. Let me tell you what your father said. Your father said, "Oh, we gotta go. Let's run." I said, "Why we gotta run? We've been sweating. We're already wet." And he said, "No, my wife won't let me in the car if I'm rained on."
Okay.
With 71, Daddy run fast.
Oh yeah, he still gonna run. Yeah, even after he broke his foot and all that stuff, he still gonna run.
Anyway, so
Go ahead.
my thing is the honor that I take knowing that what my father wanted for us, we achieved, right? And surpassed, right? And so, like, yeah, we have our own dreams, we have our own goals, but at least he can look and he can see his children. He can say, okay, like, and I'm not saying that everybody doesn't come from the same home life, the same environment. Everybody doesn't have the same background. I get it. Some people didn't have good parents. Some people didn't have these things, but you have to start building your own. Your own. Like, if you didn't have a good person who was somebody who taught you to be better, then you have to figure out what better is and strive for it every fucking day. Look at it and strive for it. Not because other people on this street doing the bare minimum, because you deserve better for you and your next generation. But if you keep giving yourself scraps, what do you think's gonna come from scraps? Nothing.
I agree. I agree.
I really thought this video was gonna be something that was gonna be fun.
No, it wasn't. No,
So
it
I'm
was a
mad about
serious
that.
topic. No, but you gave it to me though.
I
No,
know.
no, you brought it to me. So no, I mean, it was a responsible video. We had to make a responsible video based on what happened because it was irresponsible for those guys to do what they did, and um, they're seeing with their actions. Now they're seeing it making the damn soft ass damn retraction video, which we know that you really not feeling it. You don't still understand. It's just that's this thing to do so you can keep your followers. You're doing it for a reason.
My thing, I'll say this. When this loads to YouTube, you put in a body at Abba and Preach, because my thing is, well, at Abba and Preach and at Fresh and Fit, because what I would say that, because I'm outside of the fact that he has that hairline that's like right here and he has hair here, which just stresses me out that he had the nerve to sit there and talk about nobody hair. Outside of these things, there's still hope for them to change and be better.
Yeah,
There's hope for all of us to be better than who we were today. Tomorrow we can all be better, and I have hope for them to do that. I have hope for them to understand that, like, you can be with the shits and make fun of the absurdities
uh-huh.
of the culture of women, the culture of men, and whatever, without attacking them and without putting these people in danger. And like, they are creating an environment for a rape culture,
Hmm. Yeah, no,
for
I
the
agree. Yeah,
difference between whores and women.
yeah, I agree.
And I've had men tell me, it's like, you're not like them. They're whores and they're women. And I'm like, yeah, all I heard was when white people tell me they're niggas and they're black people.
There's niggas and they're black people. Exactly, exactly.
So you're creating, and this is the legacy you leave.
Mhm.
Right. And I have to, and like, as much as I loves me some good tea and loves me some good drama, like just like today, I had no intention on going this deep in this responsibly into this conversation. I was like, it's about to be a girl fight. I was ready for it. But at the end of the day, this is something that's going to be, this is history. This
Mhm.
is something we're creating that can be seen. And
Yeah.
I don't want people saying that this is funny to me.
Yes, and it's forever. Like you can't. I mean, once this is out, it's out. You can't go back and say, you know what? Once
You
your kid,
can.
yeah, well, you
You
can, but
can't
I'm just
say
saying,
I made a
once your
mistake. You
kid,
can't do these things.
once your
But
kids see it, what I'm saying is that becomes a part of your legacy. That becomes a part of your
yeah,
legacy. And
yeah,
and and to those guys, right? You're not going to really feel this until you have daughters, right? Until you have daughters and you think of somebody, some other man doing this to your daughter or treating your daughter this way, that's what's going to really hit home. And then you're going to be mad as shit. But guess what? You put that out in the atmosphere.
I don't feel like they'll take ownership of that. That level of them. Like, again, if you have to wait until you have a daughter to understand something, you're not going to understand it. You're just not. You're just going to find a way to deal with that information however you deal with it.
Mhm.
I just don't think that's going to ever be the case, and it is what it is. But like I said, what breeds change is the community holding them responsible and
In their
holding them
pockets.
accountable.
In their pockets. That's what
Hmm.
makes people change.
Yep.
The civil rights movement. America didn't accept black people because we're great people. Oh, we see y'all black people great people. No,
Y'all cook
y'all
good
definitely good.
cornbread.
And y'all got that fried chicken and watermelon. That's some good shit. Look at you. And you could be on beat. You could dance. Look at you. Look at you. You a good old boy. No, that's not why. No, that's not why. It's because it hurt their pockets. They understood the type of money that black people bring into this country. Like we spend more money than anybody else. I'm mad at y'all for that. But anyway,
That's a different
yeah,
conversation
that's
for
a
a
whole
different
different
day.
conversation for a different day. So anyway, but yeah, no, and
But
that's
it is
why.
a true conversation. I wasn't
Yeah, it
trying
is
to
a true.
stop you.
No. I wasn't gonna go into it because, like you said, it is a different conversation. I just wanted to put that point out there. But no, that's why I didn't look at anything because I didn't want to echo anybody said. I want to have my own genuine responses when you told me about what it was. I'm low key kind of feeling bad about me being part of Manosphere, not knowing all this shit before you because I'm part of it.
Well, I mean, the bright side is you're the one who told me about it. This is why
Okay, that's why
I
you started.
found out. So, like, I mean, at the end of the day, education is education. And like for me, I feel like I, I still overall feel the same way. I feel like the reason why the manosphere exists is because they have to have a counterbalance to all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, if we can find a way to come back together and have this one area where people, men and women, are holding each other accountable without retribution and reprisal and cancellation, just conversation and dialogue and accountability, in the end, that's where we need to be if we want to be the best.
That's the answer that's the answer to our problems in our community. But,
yeah. So, because there's a lot of things that are said. We talked yesterday on Will and Jade. I said that thing because my ADHD was firing that day, because I was like, there's so much happening.
It was a lot going on, yeah. And I wanted to say some things too, and I missed it because I went back and looked at it. I'm like, damn, I did want to make that point. Damn, because it was. And then the whole thing about her audio acting up, and it kind of made it to where, we couldn't kind of communicate on certain times at certain times. But what were you about to say about it?
No, I said it then. Like because I was like, I was trying, because to me it was just a funny moment, because I couldn't. There was too much happening in this setting, and so that's why I said, what are we talking about? These are the 5 things that I see. These are the 5 areas that I see, and for us to be as effective as possible, we have to take it piece by piece by piece by piece. And those are just the ones I saw. You may have different ones to add to that, but I think all of those 5 areas that I gave were important to discuss in itself.
The 2 that I think I want to discuss and drill down on is the 2 I sent you. The two points I sent you, screenshot and sent to you. Because there is a deeper discussion about certain things that happens in our community. And needs to be addressed. It really does.
Yeah. Well, this is and it's funny because it's like every time we do a podcast, it's always something that happens. Like we come up with a podcast idea, and then something happens that fits that podcast idea, which what happened yesterday on Will and Jade. Everybody, if you want to take a look at it, it's on the page. It's something Willie decided to start trolling, and then Black people got mad, mainly women.
I didn't troll nobody. I was being responsible. I asked for thoughts because I was thinking about doing it, because it kept popping up on my timeline, right? That same thing kept popping up, and I was looking at what people said, and I put it in one of the ratchet groups because I knew I was going to get real responses, right? When you're in ratchet groups, you get a myriad of responses just from one end to the other, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be good responses, but then I got attacked. I just got full on attacked, and I didn't say anything. Like I didn't say nothing. I said nothing on the topic. I just said, what are your thoughts? Basically, that's what it was. You're gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that because I got smoke for these people.
Yeah. We're going to
talk about that.
That's something that needs to be.
But this one we're talking about now, this one is specifically to the people who can't receive feedback, who don't know how to take a question as a question, who don't know how to digest information and take and spit out the bones that don't serve. Like those people. If it hurts you, let it hurt. Figure out why it hurts. Figure out why it burns. Because it's you. It has to do with you. Something you're not happy with, something you need to fix. It's not me. I'm just the vessel that shows it to you. Right? I find it funny. The thing, and I'm not trying to go into the Lizzo thing, but the one thing I want to tell the audience is, we talked about something about Lizzo, right? Everybody was mad with big bitches because I looked them up. When you sent those messages that they sent you, I was like, who are these hoes who sitting here coming at you like this? So I stalked them bitches because I'm crazy. And I'm like, all y'all bitches fat. And then why y'all mad? This is why y'all are mad, because y'all feel some kind of way because y'all know what it's like to be fat. Y'all know what it's like to be rejected and unwanted and not and understand. This is why I never try to hide my weight problems. I never try to hide it. Why? Because I know what that shit is like. I know how hard it is to lose a fucking pound. Okay? I know what it's like. It's not easy. But if you keep doing nothing, what's your alternative? And instead of you looking at this, because you're so touched by the subject of this, there's no room for any discussion because all you see is fat.
Oh, you see
That's
it's somebody. No, not even fat. All you see is what somebody saying is an attack on yourself.
yes, yes, because she's fat, because she's this, because she's that. No, 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 it's not the case. Like, cause and if you knew us, you knew we grew up in New Orleans. Big bitches used to get all kind of dudes. Your weight had nothing to do with what you can pull, because most people got game. When you talk to a chick from New Orleans or a dude from New Orleans, they got game. Oh yeah, we on some yeah stuff. Like it's some like they when they sit there and start talking about baby, you all in their face. They
Mhm.
cook you a meal, you all in their face. We got you.
Mhm.
So it's not that. So him saying that to y'all ain't putting that out about Lizzo ain't to sit there and talk about who you are, but you feel some kind of way about you, and you need to address that. Because every time a subject comes to that up, that's due. And this is how we got to the whole the downside of body acceptance, where
Mhm.
anybody who says anything is against you. So
And it goes against body acceptance. How can you feel a certain way if you accept your own body? You shouldn't feel no kind of way. It should roll off you like a water off a duck's back. Oh, okay, you talking my weight, but I'm a man. I'm cute with it. I'm this, that, so it don't mean matter, and move on. But you're exposing yourself, and that's why I was talking about Lizzo. You're exposing yourself.
I will say this. That's how you know you got a problem with you, being fat.
Mhm.
When you talk about, because I saw some comments in the back, and it's like, yeah, I'm a big girl, but I'm cute with it. I'm thick with it. Oh, so there's something wrong with being fat,
Mhm.
because you're separating yourself from them
From them,
as the
yeah, yeah,
exception to the
yeah.
rule.
I agree.
Like sometimes I watch Kevin Samuel videos, and they'll be like I don't like people like this, who go out their way to separate themselves from who they are. Like,
Mhm.
oh, these women are like that. I'm not like that because you know this. No, we're women. All of us are women. Just say what you got to say. You ain't got to throw somebody under the bus for you to
But
be
in order to
okay.
feel good about yourself, yes, and that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
Which means
So
you're
I'm not a
ashamed.
big
Which
bitch.
means you're ashamed of whatever you're talking about. That's what it means.
Yeah. And it's okay. It is absolutely okay to be ashamed. It's absolutely okay to be whatever you feel, because as soon as you acknowledge the feel it and understand where it comes from, you can get better.
Mhm.
You can be okay. But just accepting the fact that I'm just a big bitch. That's it. No, why? If you can't why yourself and why figure it out, then you're gonna always be less than, because you can't figure out who you are, and you're just accepting being less than. And as that's me saying it from like I have like me being a like a size 8 or a 6 is never gonna happen. Ever gonna happen. And that's okay, because I do what I need to do. I can honestly
And
sit
how
there
old
and
are
say,
you? And how old are you?
uh,
And how old are you?
me 42.
And do you have any kids?
No.
Okay, so and what do you want from a relationship? And
You're so stupid. You're so stupid.
your face was you was like you was just cool. It's like what the fuck is
I
going
was like,
on
why
here?
would you ask me how old? You know how old I am. I was like, why would you ask me that question? You're so stupid. He does do it that way, right? He rolls
Uh-huh.
right into it.
Yeah,
You be like, how did I get
he
here?
draws you in. He draws you in. Like
No, no. And the other thing I want to say to people is this. I could have a conversation with Kevin Samuels, right? Not agree with him and not be shook by what the fuck he says, because the way he sees the world sees the world isn't the way I see it.
and it's okay. It's okay to have a difference of view. It's okay.
He could call me a linebacker bitch, and I'd be like, okay. I don't know what to do with that information. Or he could sit there and say I'm a die alone with cats, and I'm like, I got 2,
I got 2 cats.
and I'm not afraid to die alone. I've been in relationships where I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And that's way more lonely than it is to be by yourself. To be honest.
yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that there's having a partnership with somebody, because like sometimes like I feel this way, because I'm like, the alternative of the fuckery that people come with is
Mm-hmm.
not something I aspire to have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, I'm okay being alone, and I'm fine being alone. But that's not to say I don't aspire to have somebody with similar views and enjoy our lives together. It's not to say that's not the case. But if I had to choose between fuckery, disrupting my peace, or me being by myself, I am funny as fuck. I tickle me on a daily basis when I talk about, when I said I have a thought, I'm like, that's just funny. I wish, let me tell somebody.
Man, look at
Like,
crazy girl laughing and talking to herself. Yeah, crazy cat lady.
at peace. Don't forget crazy at peace, cat lady.
Crazy at peace cat lady.
You sure right. The one who get like who, and I also will say this, and I don't know who needs to hear this. It wasn't until I left my relationships that I thrived.
Mhm.
Not saying that everybody's story is going to be like that, but there are some people. Maybe you're an enabler. Maybe you're a save a hoe. Maybe that's somebody listening to this now who's been saving many a hoes
Mhm.
and trying to like, oh, if I'm patient, I see this potential and all this stuff in people. Maybe that's where you're at in life. Understand this. It wasn't until I let go of my dead weight that I was able to really go. And I was like, if that was the worst thing you could do. Like, the worst thing I had to realize is I was causing myself hell.
Mhm.
That's it.
And take accountability of it because you were holding on to that person.
Yeah. I caused myself. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
It wasn't them. It was me. I was sitting here like, oh, maybe this person, oh, maybe this person is just like this because of this. He didn't get enough hugs as a child. He didn't do this. Or, or she didn't have a mama growing up. That's why she don't know how to wash front to back. Like,
Oh,
there's
geez.
like,
Oh, geez. Oh, God. Yeast. Oh, damn it.
I'm going to send you.
I don't want to see that shit.
No. It's separate.
Okay.
Well, in alignment with this, but separate. I'm
Mhm.
going to send you this IG. If I forget to do it when we get off the live, remind me to send it to you. This IG post. And it was like, the funny shit is when you see something that's so fucking simple,
Mhm.
but you realize it's something that's never been said. It's like, fuck, this has never been said. It talks about men's penis health and a dude saying it to other dudes.
I've seen that before.
I thought it was dope. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know if it's dope, but especially I mean, a lot of men did have men in their life, so this is information that don't get relayed to other men. So yeah,
I'm gonna send it to you because I think we're talking
yeah,
about two different things. There's
I'll
another
put it.
guy who
Yeah,
talks about
send it
that.
to me, but send it to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on blackmail, the blackmail page.
Okay, I'll do that. But that's all I have. I'll let you finish and say your part.
No, that's it. Yeah, like I said, this whole riff in the manosphere, we need to stand on code. We stand on certain morals and mutual respect for each other, the proper etiquette to how to deal with each other and how to deal with women. What Fresh and Fit did was totally out of character. You got exposed, and now you need to, if you want to be,
Accountable.
yeah, if you want to be part of the manosphere and continue to be prosperous, whatever, you have to hold yourself accountable and make amends for what you did. That's the first step to redemption, right? Is
With the
to admit what you've
manosphere.
done. Huh?
But what about self-redemption? Like, my thing
Very well
is,
with self.
honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, your opportunity, like, you need to do right by you
Mhm.
and do right by this situation. Like, because whether or not, because being a part of the manosphere ends up being dollars and cents, right?
Mhm.
But realizing that your words hold power and your actions have a residual effect
Mhm.
changes who you are as a person. It gives you, like, we walk around and talk about we're kings and queens and all this other
Yeah.
foolishness,
Mhm.
but we came from gods.
Mhm.
We are a representation, according to the Bible, of God.
Mhm.
And this is how we act.
So well, going back to what we was talking about yesterday, right? That's why I was trying to get Naira to understand, right? You can say this is not a representation. Them Fresh and Fit is not a representation of me at all. But the truth is, anybody looking at them that doesn't know who black men are, don't whatever, they'll look at me and say, okay, this man might be this person. That's why I got attacked when I was in that group, right? Because I might be these two gentlemen that have this kind of ideas. So that's why, we need to set these people straight, just like Abin Preach did with Fresh and Fit, right? We need to set these people straight that are casting a bad light on black men or women that are casting light on black women. Y'all need to set those women straight. And then we come to the table and say, look, we've done our job. We've got rid of these dudes over here. We got them straight over here. And y'all women, you say, hey, we got these women straight over here that are casting bad light and making shit negative for us on this side. Now, where do we go now for relationships and our just mutual respect of each other, men and women? And how do we continue on this journey?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm done.
We don't we have next week. We have a serious one too.
We gonna have a serious one next week?
I think so. You gave me the next week one.
No, we don't have to do it next week. I mean, that topic is what it is. I mean, it's gonna, you know, we could talk about that anytime. We can go back and find something else. Something gonna happen.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We might come back serious. We'll see. I'm tired now. Like I feel depleted. But it also could be that I was out all day. And I went to the gym. I
Picking
was proud of
cotton and
myself.
shit and picking being a good old slave
Mm-hmm.
on a master farm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and with my little Negro spirituals. Mm-hmm.
Swing low, sweet cherry.
Um,
Anyway. And on a Sunday,
yeah.
y'all wasn't even good slaves. On a Sunday, we rested, damn it. We went to church, we
Yeah.
had good old, we were sitting out there, visiting what you call them, clapping and dancing and stuff.
Yeah, we missed it. We missing it. We missing it. And we were sitting there just eating the muscadines while we was picking them. Well, that's all we got, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate y'all kicking it with us, reviewing this subject. We'll be back next week with something else. See y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir.